I'll never be good enough. I'm stupid, I'm ugly, and I'll never be successful. Phrases like these pass through my mind on a daily basis. These sayings are prime examples of self-judgment. Self-judgment is exactly what it sounds like, the process we go through when judging or criticizing ourselves. The real world can be scary. We're afraid we won't be as successful as others. We're afraid of being unattractive, and we're afraid of feeling emotions like sadness, hopelessness, and defeat. Therefore, our minds are so quick to judge us and put us back in place whenever it thinks we've stepped out of line. Self-judgment may seem justified by your mind, but in actuality, it destroys these distinct, beautiful traits that make you, you. Today, I want you to think differently about yourself and how you cope with your emotions and how you perceive yourself. I present to you self-validation, the beauty in accepting your thoughts, feelings, and sense of worth. Growing up, I became accustomed to the idea that big bad emotions like anger, despair, emotional exhaustion, and hopelessness were these temporary phases to be ignored because they would only lead to complete misery. Because of it, I never confronted my emotions and dealt with them all at once when they became too much to bear. Think of your mind as the body of an ocean. Confront your emotions while they float at the surface, while they are easier to tackle, rather than letting these emotions sink to the bottom where they can accumulate and fully overwhelm your mind. Observe your emotions and understand why you feel certain ways about certain situations. Know that you have the highest knowledge of your feelings and your experiences. Therefore, no one else should dictate how you respond to your own hardships. Trust yourself and your own interpretations. There is a reason why they exist. Another point that exists is our growing need for academic validation. Our minds tell us that if our efforts are not constantly praised or validated by others, that we are a complete failure. Think back to a time you scored really well on a test and your teacher or your friends congratulated you for it. Did it make you feel extra proud? Or more importantly, did it make you feel a larger sense of purpose? That's precisely what academic validation is. The praise of others, defining your own sense of worth. Academic validation can act as a strong motivator to continue setting goals and to continue working productively. However, when we don't receive these moments of validation, we start to spiral and fall out of the loop with all kinds of self-esteem. Defeating the need for academic validation begins by picking up hobbies. Find an out-of-school activity. It doesn't have to be complex or elaborate, such as taking walks, bike rides, reading, painting, playing a sport, or even writing. These are essentially just a few ideas. Essentially, find an outlet that will break your tight connection of academics with self-worth. Most importantly, remember to treat yourself with kindness. Sometimes we can't always give our 100% in everything we do. We become overwhelmed and take breaks. That's perfectly fine. Rest does not always indicate laziness or unproductivity. Rather, rest allows us to recharge and return to a healthy mental state. Just like we use academics to define success, we use outside validation to define our own beauty. External validation is almost like an addictive drug, if you will. It is always sought after, but it will never be enough to love your appearance wholeheartedly. Self-validation will always promise a brighter, positive outlook towards your physical image, and a promising journey to self-validation starts by reciting affirmations. Every morning when I wake up, I make it a point to look in the mirror and recite these 2 affirmations, and I actually want you to state them with me. The first one is, repeat after me, every day, I become more beautiful. The second one is, my beauty is worth being noticed and appreciated. Okay, now you may be thinking, seriously, how are phrases like that going to change anything? Reciting these affirmations may feel silly at first, but you will start to see positive change once you repeat and genuinely believe in them. By reciting affirmations, you're training your subconscious mind to replace negative thoughts of self-judgment with positive affirmations and uplifting thoughts. It's crazy how you can psychologically replace, again, self-judgment with positive affirmations. While reciting affirmations does create a positive outlook towards your physical image, it is essential to recognize that your worth extends beyond your appearance. Looks only scratch the surface level of a person's worth. Think of someone who has constantly encouraged you, shown acts of generosity towards you, and supported you in times of doubt. Are you thinking of how pretty their hair was or how sharp their jawline was? No. Instead, you've thought about all the times they've shown you genuine acts of love and supported you. People value you and remember you for your personality, your heart, your mind, and your soul. By recognizing your worth in terms of academics, emotions, and appearance, only then can you experience validation on an exceptional level. It is crucial to remember these ideas. First, your emotions demand much needed confrontation, and without this confrontation, your feelings will overwhelm you. Secondly, while academic validation may push you towards goals, it is essential to recognize that it can overwhelm you. And last, self-validation towards your appearance will always prevail over external validation. You are worth so much more than your looks. You're loved for your character and your heart. It's only human to seek external validation, but only self-validation will allow you to overcome self-judgment and show grace to your true self. From this day forward, I want you to think differently about yourself. Welcome your thoughts, appreciate your feelings, and embrace the beautiful qualities that make you extraordinary. Thank you.